Hi guys, I'm live. Um, how you guys doing? Sorry for the nerd out mode I seem to be in this morning. It's just something I feel like doing. So sorry about that kind of. But I'm kind of in nerd mode right now. So let's just go with it and see what happens. I wanted to reiterate my own original discoveries in thought, which I call Wiseman's theorem, Wiseman's formula, and Wiseman's identity. And then I just want to nerd out a little bit, and then I'll probably get that out of my system, and then I won't be doing it for a while probably because I do music on my channel mostly. But Wiseman's theorem, do I need to write that? I don't think I do. Well, I'll write it. Wiseman's theorem. Can I even spell theorem? Is this? Did I spell that right? Theorem. I think it might be right. Is this? So you start out with the number of dots it takes to, can't even draw. The number of dots it takes to make a square like this is 9. So you start with the number 9. And then the number of dots it takes to make a Star of David, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, like this. If you make a Star of David, you can tell that is 13. Of course, the square was this. So I discovered this with pennies on the ground, actually, is how I got these two. I was just playing with pennies on the ground, and I said, wait a minute, 9 make a square, 13 make a Star of David. What's up with that? And then some ideas went through my head, and I thought of Wiseman's theorem about within the hour of doing that. I had thought of Wiseman's theorem, basically, and this is Wiseman's theorem. So take those two numbers, 9 and 13. Let me do it a little better so I have room to write up here. 9 and 13. 9 and 13. Up here I'm going to write 3 and 4. So I have 3 and 4 and 9 and 13. Those are the parameters. What's 9 times 3? 27. What's 13 times 3? 39. Well, what does that add to? 66. And what is that in real time? Well, 27 is the number of books in the New Testament, 39 is the number of books in the Old Testament, and 66 is the number of books in the Bible. And it's 66, 2 digits, the same digit each, double digit. So then do it with 4. 9 times 4 is 36. 13 times 4 is 52. That adds to 88. And what is that in real time? Well, 36 is the number of black keys on a keyboard. 52 is the number of white keys on a keyboard, and 88 is the total number of keys on a keyboard. Again, double digits like the 6 is only 6, 6, 8, 8. That's Wiseman's theorem. In case I've said it before, but something told me to repeat it. And I listened. So let me erase this, and I'll go on to some. I'm just going to nerd out a little bit. Is that okay? I could just jam right now, but right now I feel like doing this. So sorry about that, but I just do. Sometimes I feel like jamming and I don't even think of this. I don't even care about this. So, at other times. So Wiseman's formula is this. Now this happened a different day than that I discovered this. I was just thinking, they say, they have the Pythagorean triplets. You have, because you have let's just make it x. Wait, let's do that, right? Let's see. You have x squared plus y squared equals r squared in Pythagorean theorem, 2 dimensions. And you have the triplets that obey this. That's just 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. Because 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25. So that means 3, 4, and 5 fit this Pythagorean formula, or whatever you call that. Equation of a circle, maybe you could call it that, with radius 1, because if you wanted a different radius, you'd have to put numbers in front of those, x's and y's and r's. Well, actually, the r would be the number. Yeah, there's that, isn't there? Anyway. And you have others. You have x squared plus y squared equals r squared. You have x equals 5 squared plus y equals 12 squared equals r 13 squared. That's another one. 5 squared is 25. 12 squared is 144. And that magically equals 169, which is 13 squared. So 5, 12, and 13 is another Pythagorean triplet. So you have that. And that's great, but it wasn't enough for me at this day that I thought of this. I thought, no, it can't end there. That's just not complete. So I started thinking, what if something else could be done to extrapolate that and also be true itself? I thought of the formula, which is right now is just a formula. I thought of, what about x cubed plus y cubed plus z cubed equals r cubed? Make it three-dimensional. It's got to work for, it's got to be a thing too, but adding another term, a z term. Does that work for anything? How about x equals 3? So you have 3 cubed plus y equals 4, 4 cubed plus z equals 5, 5 cubed equals 6, r equals 6, 6 cubed. Is that true? And the fact is that this is Weismann's formula because it is true. 3 cubed is 27. 4 cubed is 64. Not equals. 5 cubed is 125. And 6 cubed is 216. So it actually is true. And that's Weismann's formula. I thought of that. 27, make sure that rough guess that, yeah, that looks right. And you had the 1, 12, 18. Yep, that's correct. That's Weismann's formula. But what did I do from there? I spent a day just at this next part alone. I spent a day at this. I thought of this. And actually, this part's an accident that it came to me, but hey, it came to me still, even if it was an accident. I'm the one that received it, so here it is. I was trying to figure out if that worked for any other higher powers than 3, and it turns out it does not. It took me a whole day to prove that, but during that proof, or at least demonstrate it, I found that 6 to the 5th power equals 7, 7, 7, 6. This is going to be, I didn't state what I'm doing. This, I got to state it, of course. Weismann's identity. This is, I've discovered that 6 to the 5th power equals 7, 7, 7, 6. So with a little messing around with it, I can make a cool formula, I think. So I can say 6 to the 5th power plus 1 equals 7, 7, 7, 7. I can divide everything by 7, and I get Weismann's identity, which is 6 to the 5th power plus 1 all over 7 equals 1, 1, 1, 1. I didn't draw that very well. That's Weismann's identity. 6 to the 5th power plus 1 all over 7 equals 1, 1, 1, 1. I think that's interesting. It's got a digit 1 like the thumb, and 4 digits here like the 4 fingers, making 5 ones like our hand. It's got the consecutive numbers 5, 6, and 7 in it, which is cool, all revolving around 6 is the middle number of it. It's got addition, division, which is another form of multiplication, and exponentiation. And that's Weismann's identity. Just thought I'd nerd out. 6 to the 5th power plus 1 all over 7 equals 1, 1, 1, 1. I think that's cool. That's Weismann's identity. That came to me by accident. I was just trying to figure out if I could extend the Weismann's formula even further, and found out I could not. But this is what I got in return for spending a day doing this. Just a day with paper and pen. They didn't have computers yet. Well, at least not accessible to people, and blah, blah, not on phones and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool, huh? So, anything else to nerd out on? My birthday is 12/6/1966. Randy Rose's birthday is 12/6/1956. That's kind of cool. We're 10 years apart. Steve Vai's birthday, 6/6/1960. So he has 666, and we're 6 months and 6 years apart. And Paul Gilbert's birthday is 11/6/1966. So we're identical, except he's 1 month before me. We still have 666 in common. And that the four of us, I think that's cool. I relate to Randy. I relate to Steve. I relate to Paul, but Vi doesn't really relate to Randy. Vi doesn't relate to Paul. And Paul doesn't relate to Randy, but I relate to all three, which I think is interesting. I'm the youngest one of the four, but I'm also the only one that relates to every other one, relating to Randy, relating to Steve, and relating to Paul. So I think that's cool. That's the birthday part of this nerd out session. Well, for now, it's part of the birthday part. I'm going to go further. And again, yeah, okay, let's get some more. So my birthday is 12/6/1966. Why do I care? Well, it has 666 in it, if you write it that way, 12/666. It also has 12, which can be 666, so that can be 666 if you think of it that way. So two possible ways of making it look like 666. The verse in the Bible that mentions 666 is Revelation, not Revelations, it's Revelation 13:18. Why do I care? Well, 13 can be 6, 6, and 1, and 18 can be 12 and 6. So I can make the Revelation, I can make 13 and 18 out of my birthday. Or the 13 can be 12 and the 1 here, and this 18 can be the 666 of the day and the last 2 of the year. So I can get 13/18 from the birthday, and 2 different ways, which I think is cool. And the verse mentions my last name with every letter except the middle letter E. It says, here is wisdom. Here is wisdom. But wise, W-I-S, is the first 3 letters in my name, which is Wiseman. Let him that hath understanding count the number of beasts, for it is the number of a man. Well, man is the last 3 letters of my last name. Just the middle E is missing. Wise man. 666 is in the verse, and I have 666 in my birthday, and I have 13/18 is the reference chapter and verse of the verse, and that can be found in my birthday 2 different ways. So I think that's cool. Just nerding out. Hey, I said I would, so I guess I'm doing it. Anything else while I'm here? We're almost done. We're getting close to being done. Don't worry. We got the end to come, as Jimi Hendrix said in one jam. No need to worry. We got the end to come. Now me and Eddie Van Halen. I was born 12/6/1966. Eddie Van Halen was born 1/26/1955. So now it's me and Eddie Van Halen's turn to get in. And Amadeus Mozart, Wolfgang, was born 1/27/1956. Got off by a couple hundred years. 1756. Died 12/5/1791. So this is interesting, between my birthday, Eddie Van Halen's birthday, Mozart's birthday, and his death day. You can see Eddie was born the day before Mozart was born. I was born the day after Mozart died. That's fair. So Mozart's life is sandwiched between my birthday and Eddie Van Halen's birthday. And what's cool. What's also cool is that the end points are the same number and a cool number. Eddie was born on the 26th, so there was 26 days in the year before Mozart was born. So 26 days before Mozart's life. in the calendar single year. I was born 12/6. There are 31 days in December, and if you have from 6 on, is all of them but 5. So if you subtract 31 minus 5 is 26. That means there are 26 days after Mozart's death to the end of the year, which are the days from my birthday to the end of the year, which is 26, because there's 5 days in December before my birthday, and 5 and 26 make 31, which is the number of days in December. So it's 26 days up to, but not including, wait, let me think. Yes, up to and including Eddie Van Halen's birthday. 26 days before Mozart was born in a year, and 26 days including my birthday after Mozart died in a calendar year, if you make it a single calendar year. So 26 and 26, both marked by my birthday and Eddie Van Halen's birthday, and in between is, I think it's 313, if I remember right, days of Mozart's life in a single calendar year, which I think is cool. 26 and 26 make 52. Well, let's erase this and then do that. Well, why that 26 is cool. Why is that cool, in other words? Well, I'll tell you. 52 times 7 is 365, number of days in a year. It's 52 weeks, which is 52 days times 7 days is 365. So 52 equals 26 plus 26. So the days before and after Mozart's birthday can be added up to 52, which means the other days of Mozart's actual life would be 52 times 6, because that's all the seventh one is taken up by half by before Eddie was born, from the beginning of the year to Eddie's birthday, and another 26 from my birthday to the end of the year. And 52 times 6 is 12. 52 times 6, 12. Did I do that right? 312. 6 times. Oh yeah, I know what's going on. Yeah, 52 times 6 is 312. And the reason why that works in this case is because actually 52 times 7 is 364 in reality. I goofed there, didn't I? Sorry, guys. That's the number of years in the days in 7 weeks. But we have an extra day and a quarter. It's like 1.22 or something days that we have to add to each year. So and in fact, the other one is like quarter of a day. So you have to have a leap year every 4 years to add that. So we add another day to the calendar year to make 365, which this 312 becomes 313, which is why Mozart's lifespan in this model is 313, because of the extra day and a quarter that gets added to each year. So there's that little nerdishness. Anything else while I'm here? While we're here, think of anything else I want to nerd out on about my numbers and stuff. Anything else while I'm here? Let me think of anything else I want to nerd out on. I think that's it. Love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.